All right, Brandon Krastowski back here again, and we are going to roast the turkey, okay? We're roasting the bird. This is it, man. This is what everything comes down to. The whole house smells. Everyone's nerves are there. And don't forget to set a timer. You can't forget about the turkey, okay? I don't know if any of my favorite scenes in a movie is that, what was it, National Lampoon's
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation, where he cusses the bird, man. It deflates, okay? That's not going to be you this year. All right, so here we go. Let's get it started. So we talked about selecting the bird. We talked about a very important part of after the selection is to brine your bird, right? Prepare it. And now we're coming to the third crucial step of making sure that this is properly made as the cooking of your turkey. Okay? So while we've got the turkey here, it's brined. We trussed it here. We trussed it very nicely. What I want to talk about now is, again, you can cook it a couple ways. You can smoke it. We're not doing that today. You can fry it. Okay, we're not doing that today as well. We're going to roast this turkey. Now, first things first, we've seasoned the turkey. Okay, I know we brined it, but we still want to talk about seasoning this turkey, right? So we're going to make sure we hit it with a little bit of salt, right? A little more salt on top. You want to get inside the cavity, some salt, right? You want to give it a little bit of pepper, some pinch of pepper. Get inside that cavity too. Okay. I like to, some people, it's up to you, but you can get underneath it with some butter. Clear a little space between the skin and the meat with your finger. Get some butter in there, right? Both sides. What it's going to do is keep that moist, get a nice little browniness to it as it melts, right? It's like a timed release of making something roasted and buttery, right? You can do that, right? You're definitely going to want to hit it with some oil as well on the outside, right? I know we seasoned it, but we'll make sure we get this right at the top of there. We'll make sure it's nicely rubbed. And that's going to make sure you have a nice, even color to it. It doesn't get burnt, but in fact, it's roasted, okay? All right, so if it's stuffed, you're looking for about 15 minutes per pound of cook time. All right, if it's unstuffed, you say about 13 minutes. But either way, regardless, sometimes science is not always correct, okay, or the environment's different. But you want to make sure when you temp it, we're going to temp it right here. You're going to take the temperature of it. It should be 155, 160 degrees, because it will carry over its cooking another 5-10 degrees. Okay, so make sure we don't cook it all the way through. Now we have to decide what we're going to roast it on. Okay, so we brought a couple examples here. There's nothing wrong with this pan. Okay, look at it's a foil pan, no cleaning. All right, it's done. Here you are. Okay, so you use a foil pan like this. It's a great vessel to cook it. A lot of you have a roasting pans at home. We can put it on top of a tray with a rack. Just again, the important part I'm going to stress is it's not directly on the metal or the aluminum. There's something hoisted it up. So here, we can put the turkey here. Voila, it's elevated. That's another possibility. But I think what we've all agreed on here, all the chefs, is that we really enjoy making this, an organic kind of process by taking a pan here. Again, you have roasting pans at home. And what we'd like to do is fill up the bottom of this with aromatics, allowing the turkey to rest on top of, so it's not in direct contact with the metal, but also developing different flavor characteristics as those juices drip out. They catch, but they're also infused with the carrot, the onion, right, the celery. So it's as simple as that. And there's nothing better, at home. Of course, there's nothing better than drinking wine on Thanksgiving while you're cooking. Okay, that's probably one of the better parts of the experience. But there's nothing better when your house fills up with the aromas of roasted meats and onion and carrots and celery. So we like to just enhance that flavor, that smell a little bit more by doing this here as well. Okay, so let's also talk about the size of your oven. You want to make sure that the oven's going to be big enough to hold the bird. Don't jam this thing to a little toaster oven. Okay, you're not going to have a great result. You want enough air around this turkey to be able to create an environment of dry heat that reaches a temperature of your desired temperature. Okay, so here we are. We're just taking our onions. Again, we're not looking to eat these afterwards. Okay, so we're gonna just do a nice rough chop. Remember, this bird could be roasting for for quite a long time. And if that's the case, we want to make sure these don't turn into mush either. Okay, so we're at a large chop on these onions. We're going to put inside of the pan. All right, the carrots, here you are. You can peel these as well. You don't have to peel them, but you can peel them if you wish. We'll do a little cut here. Allow them to rest on. And this is a good, Thanksgiving should also be about cooking with the family, right? And so whether that's grandma, grandpa, whether that's the kids or grandkids, but this is like a perfect job for someone to do that has like no culinary like experience, right? Or really messed something up. It's like you can't mess up cutting these carrots and onions, right? So you can get someone involved in the family process. Something as simple as look at hey kid, chop up the celery. And how are they gonna mess this up? They're not, okay. So another way to incorporate more people in the household into cooking, the love of cooking, it's such a great thing. So there's no real quantity that we had. I gave 2 onions, 2 carrots, a couple stalks of celery. I'm going to take a head of garlic, split it in half. I think that's always nice to have. I'm going to reserve maybe a clove or 2 here. I'll show you what we'll do with that here in a moment. But essentially, I'm looking for like a little pile here to rest our turkey on. Okay, this last little clove, we're going to be a little sneaky. Okay, if you were to say, was your turkey garlic fed? It tastes a little like garlic, You say yes, it was hand fed with cloves of garlic. All right, but actually we're stuffing some garlic underneath the skin. As simple as that. Just give it a little bit more of that flavor. All right. So if you see here, it's a very simple setup, okay? You just see some onions, carrots, celery, some garlic. You can throw some parsley on there, some sage, okay? I think it's really important to get your tertiary flavors, right? The third layer of flavoring outside of the aromatics, outside of the great meat, but herbs and spices, that's truly like the third level of flavoring. And I'm actually going to take this and just, kind of get it inside there, along with a little bit more garlic. That tertiary flavor is really what you're looking for, I think, at Thanksgiving. Is people wondering, how did you get it to be so flavorful? And this is how, we've stuffed it, put it on the right hand, so it'll look just like this. Look at this bird, like this bird was like meant to be here. It's like it's a little island. And I always like to put a little oil in the bottom, just because as these drippings come out, we don't want them to burn. But I mean, look at this. It's right inside there. One could even argue. You can see the side of this. Here we have this side view. One could even argue that this bird or this pan could be lowered by about an inch, or we can go up another inch. But I think this is going to be just fine. But I like to have this about about the lower part of the legs where my pan should be touching. Right. So cooking times, temperatures, mixtures of both. What we can do here is a couple things. So for me at home, I'm going pretty solid here, about 350 degrees for the duration of the bird. But the first like half hour, 45 minutes, maybe up to an hour, I'm going 425. I want to get a little extra crispness on my skin. I want that to brown really nicely. So we're going to do this all day, right? You're with us all day. So this is kind of like the jockey. This is what's going to set the pace of the meal. And remember, whenever you want to serve dinner, you want your turkey to come out 30 to 45 minutes before that time so it can rest and carry over. Again, this is going to be cooked. It's going to come to 155 temperature, 160. You're going to pull it out. It's going to keep cooking. Moisture is going to keep going. But don't think the turkey comes out, you cut it, you start eating. No, you want to make sure it rests. And so corn and everything else, we're going to do cornbread next. You just saw the pumpkin pie. We're going to coordinate everything around that time when the turkey comes out and it's allowed to rest to enjoy Thanksgiving. Okay, so we're going to get in the oven. I'm starting here at 425. Okay, we're going to do that for 30 minutes. We're going to check it. It's all about checking things. And then what we're going to do from there is we're going to make sure that we either drop the heat or keep it high, and then keep an eye on our bird the rest of the afternoon. Okay, this bird weighed about 12 pounder, about 12-pound bird here. So if you take 12 pounds, you take about 13 minutes. You can do the math. Okay, it's never exact, so you always want to kind of touch taste, look, and of course, we're going to stick that thermometer when the time comes. But this is the beginning of it, okay? All right. So turkey goodbye. It's time for its roast. All right, and I'm going to go when I put it in there. If you have a convection oven, or the fan is blowing, I want the fan to blow with the breast to start, get a good color, and we'll rotate it. So we're going to take this one, or you can put it on the side and just rotate it. But we're going just like this. It's a conventional oven, so it's going to cook pretty evenly, and then we're just going to rotate it. Right. And as the day goes on, you'll see Chef John, Chef Jerry, or myself, we're going to baste it, make sure we got nice even cooking to it. And really, this is like the pride and joy of Thanksgiving for us every year. And I'm not worried. You're going to do it this year. This is it. It'll be the best turkey ever.
Going to pull the turkey out here. It's been in just about 11 o'clock. Yep. So right around 11. Just about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. You can see it's nice and golden brown. Here's going to check the temperature here. My guess is we still have about an hour. So right now we're still sitting at, we're really close. We're about 150 degrees because what we forgot to mention, when you brine a turkey, because that brine is in there, it does tend to cook a little faster. So we still have like a little time. Our breast, we're sitting at maybe 155. Oh, and John's going to baste on it. Going to take a little juices here and baste it. Looking really good. And then James going to take it here to the back oven. Finish while we knock some stuff out of this oven here. So Jerry, how long did that end up cooking for? So we forgot to mention that why I think it's so valuable to have a thermometer, especially if you brine your bird. It is going to cook a little faster when it is brine. Now, what time did we get this in? We got it right around 11 o'clock, and it is 5 to 2. So that was about 2.5 hours. This is a little bit lower 10-pound bird, but we temped it. We took it out, we tented it, and then you saw we drained, we took all those drippings off, and we made a gravy. And now the last thing we got to do is carve it. Like I said, especially, do not be worried. I actually think you're better off getting your bird in and out of the oven sooner than later. Because if you tent it well, it is going to stay warm. And now you've freed up oven space to finish your sides, to warm it up, and you're not fighting for space. So the first thing we want to do here is I'm going to take off the string. Always have a sharp knife too. Yes, sharp knife helps. Like I said, Kevin Noon of Noon Sharpening, you can find him in a lot of hide-ins. I trust him with our knives, and he does them all with my personal knives, and he also sharpens the knives for the students. Okay. So what we have here is we have our bird. We just want to maybe talk about the anatomy of it too. So we've got our 2 wings. We've got our legs and our thighs underneath and on top of the breast. So the first thing I like to do is, just for a little stability, is I will gently go ahead and cut away the leg. And I'm going to leave those on for balance. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just cut the wings off. And I'm going to put those right on the tray, instead of taking the meat off, because at least you never know, someone might just want, like myself or John, just go ahead and have the whole leg to themselves, or the whole wing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my bird over. I'm going to turn it so it's facing me. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pull these legs down just a little so that my bird is balanced. What that means is I see a lot of carving videos, and they take that leg off, but then you have this wobbly bird to get the breast off. This is just giving a little extra balance. So I'm going to go ahead and, so you've got the two breasts, and what you have in the middle here is the breastbone, and you can feel it. So since I'm left-handed, I start on the right side. I'm going to just cut right along, and I'm feeling the breastbone with the tip of my knife. And I am going to just start, it's still really hot inside. I'm going to go ahead and remove the breast.
So how come you don't carve it like you see in other TV shows and movies where they slice it right off the turkey?
You could, I just think that's more for show. I mean, what's your take? Could you carve it at the table?
We carve it at the table, but we take the breast off too.
Okay.
I think one of the main reasons we do it, it just dries it out more. You know, those thin slices, you're going to get a drier turkey. You want some chunks.
So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slice up my breast.
And this turkey's been out of the oven for probably an hour.
Yeah.
And it's still steaming hot. So to Jerry's point, there's no reason not to get it done early.
So I'm just going to arrange these on my platter. And now's a good time, if you want. Right here, so back of the bird, this is where our wishbone is. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get that out. I'm also going to take the skin off the top and just put that on the plate. You can see, there's our wishbone. We go ahead and take that out. People still do the wishbone? I mean, I haven't done it since I was a kid, so I don't know if we can clean that up. Or put it on the plate.
Let the kids fight over it.
Yep. And the corner like that, little meat in the middle. Now I'm going to go ahead and take off our dark meat. It's a lot easier if you're not afraid to use your hands. I'm going to just go ahead and literally, I have my drumstick, my thigh. I'm just going to go ahead and separate this from the bird. Let's get up here so you can see it better. Okay. So I'm just going to gently pull it away. You can see I've popped the thigh bone. I'm just going to cut right underneath it to remove that. Then I'm just going to, you know, what I can do is put this aside. I did a pretty good job carving it. There's also cook's secret. Right on the back, right where the thigh was, I had these two pieces of meat here. I'm going to cut those out. Now I'm going to save them for myself. Those are called the turkey oysters. It's also the best part of a chicken too. Just a little like that, nice and small. That's the carver's, the cook's treat. Wow, that's really good. I could taste the flavors from the brine in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and separate the drumstick from the thigh. Using my hands, I just separate the bones and I cut through them. And I'm going to cut away this thigh bone. I'm just going to slice up some of this dark meat. Put down here. There we go, more thigh meat. We're gonna put that on the side. And then I personally, if they're not too big, I like to decorate my serving tray with my leg, with my drumstick. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my other thigh meat over here, kind of arrange it like this. And please, 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 do not throw this out. Because the day after Thanksgiving, I'm gonna put this in a pot with, if I have any leftover turkey stock, or just water them and simmer it till the meat falls off the bone. And then any leftover meat and veg, I'm gonna make a turkey soup the next day. And you could also, if you don't want to do the whole drumsticks, you can go ahead and, you know, cut the meat off, so people have more options for that. It's great.
And we just decorated here with a little bit of parsley and fresh lemon. You can see. It's all ready to go. And now, serve. And dinner is served. So you can see our whole platter fills up the whole table pretty well. Pumpkin pie, we made a little fresh whipped cream on it. Our dressing, candied sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, our green bean casserole, muffins, cranberry sauce, which looks great, gravy, and our turkey. And some leftover drinks to enjoy while we eat. We truly hope you had a good time.
What we hope is that, you know, if you've never done Thanksgiving dinner before, if you want to expand or do more from scratch, this help. We hope that maybe this has relieved a little stress. Like I said, if you did watch today, hopefully it wasn't too boring, but these videos will be separated and on our website with all of the recipes. And like I said, my email is GERRY, Jerry at edwinsrestaurant.org. Please feel free to email me with any questions or call me at the restaurant, 216-921-3333. If you can't catch me at the restaurant, I'll probably be at the butcher shop getting ready for any Thanksgiving orders we have. Like I said, we will be selling turkeys, and all of these sides will be available to purchase. But thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have a great holiday. And we had a lot of fun cooking today. So all you gotta say is cheers. Cheers. And have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.